अनुवर्तिनः अभवन् योगिनः सर्वे अभवन् योगिनः सर्वे नारायणपरायणाः तत्प्रसंगानुभावेन रतिदेवानुवर्तिनः अभवन् योगिनः सर्वे नारायणपरायणाः तत्प्रसंगानुभावेन रतिदेवानुवर्तिनः अभवन् योगिनः सर्वे नारायणपरायणाः तत्प्रसंग अनुभावेन because of associating with King Rantideva. When talking with him about Bhakti Yoga, Rantideva Anuvartinaha, the followers of King Rantideva, that is, his servants, his family members, his friends and others, Abhavan became Yogina, first class mystic yogis or Bhakti yogis. Sarve, all of them, Narayana Parayanaha, devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Shri Sharna Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. All those who followed the principles of King Rantideva were totally favored by his mercy and became pure devotees, attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana. Thus, they all became the best of yogis. Can you repeat the translation? All those who followed the principles of King Rantideva were totally favored by his mercy and became pure devotees, attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana. Thus, they all became the best of yogis. Purport. The best yogis or mystics are the devotees, as confirmed by the Lord Himself in Bhagavad Gita 6.47. Yoginam api sarvesham madgatenantaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yo mam same yuktatamo mataha. Of all yogis, he who always abides in me with great faith, worshipping me in transcendental loving service, is most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. The best yogi is he who constantly thinks of the Supreme Personality of Godhead within the core of his heart. Because Rantideva was the king, the chief executive of the state, in the state, all the residents of the state became devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, by the king's transcendental association. This is the influence of a pure devotee. If there is one pure devotee, his association can create hundreds and thousands of pure devotees. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has said that a Vaishnava is meritorious in proportion to the number of devotees he has created. A Vaishnava becomes superior not by not simply by jugglery of words, but by the number of devotees he has created for the Lord. Here the word Rantidevanuvartinaha indicates that Rantideva's officers, friends, relatives, and subjects all became first-class Vaishnavas by his association. In other words, Rantideva is confirmed herein to be a first-class devotee or Maha Bhagavata. Mahat Sevam Dvaram Ahur Vimukte. One should render service to such Mahatmas, for then one will automatically achieve the goal of liberation. Sri Narottam Das Thakur has also said, Chadiya Vaishnava Seva Nistara Payeche Keva. One cannot be liberated by his own efforts. But if one becomes subordinate to a pure Vaishnava, the door to liberation is open. Thus ends the purport and translation to Canto 9, Chapter 21, Text 18 of Srimad Bhagavatam. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणि प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Rantideva Anuvartinaha. By following in the footsteps of Rantideva, Tat Prasanga Anubhavena, and by taking his association, Narayana Parayanaha. All the citizens in the kingdom of Rantideva, they all became pure devotees, Narayana Parayanaha, and they became very attached to the Supreme Lord Narayana. So much so, Abhavan Yogina Sarve, they elevated themselves to becoming the Abhavan Yogina Sarve, the best of the yogis. That means they became devotees. Hmm. There are four kinds of yogis: Karma Yogi, Jnana Yogi, Ashtanga Yogi, and Bhakti Yogi. And as Prabhupada begins the purport by saying, Lord Krishna only spoke about all the yoga systems, and whichever yoga you follow, it is meant to put you in touch with the Supreme Lord Krishna, slowly make you become united with Krishna, rejoin the association of Krishna. That is the purpose of yoga. So there are preliminary levels and there are advanced levels and there is the most advanced level. So it begins with Karma Yoga and finally it ends in Bhakti Yoga. So Krishna himself says, who is the uh, propounder of the yoga system, according to Krishna's own opinion, as Krishna himself says in this line, Same Yukta Tamam Mataha. Mataha means Krishna is saying my opinion. Krishna only spoke about the yoga and Krishna is giving his final conclusion about the position of a yogi. Who is the best yogi among all the yogis? So Krishna is saying, of all yogis, he who always abides in me with great devotion, great faith, worshipping me in transcendental loving service, is most intimately connected with me. Yukta Tamo Mataha. Most intimately connected, united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. Krishna used the word Yukta Tamaha. That means highest of all. and most intimately connected with me. Who is that? Madgatena Antaratmana, deep within the core of his heart, Shraddhavan, with great faith, Bhajate, he engages in loving devotional service. To whom? Yo mam, unto me. Such a person, Krishna says, Mataha, I consider, it's my opinion, and Krishna's opinion is to be taken very seriously. So Krishna is saying, Yoginam api sarvesham. Among all the yogis, Yukta Tamaha. He is the best of all. So devotees of the Lord are the best yogis. We simply engage in loving devotional service and become the best of the yogis. So, what is the glory of becoming best of the yogis or a pure devotee of Krishna? That's described in this verse. Four things are mentioned in this verse. Rantideva was one pure devotee during his time. Hmm. And by following in his footsteps, his entire kingdom, Prabhupada says in the purport, consisting of his officers, relatives, subjects, friends, anyone and everyone in his kingdom became as good as Rantideva. So anyone who followed the principles of Rantideva were totally favored by his mercy. They became pure devotees and they became attached to Narayana and they became the best of the yogis. So the same principle continues even today. Anybody who follows in the footsteps of Rantideva even today is sure to become attached to Narayana and become the best of the yogis. That's why Prabhupada always calls Krishna consciousness as a science. Science means uh, something which is experimented and it's like experiment, observation, inference. Anybody who conducts the experiment will get the result at any point of time, provided the conditions are met. Some criteria are there. Whoever does, whichever part of the world, hmm, just like hydrogen and oxygen you combine, it will become water. Whether you do in India or America, 1,000 years back or now, it is the same. Result will come. That is called science. Similarly, Krishna consciousness is a science. If you follow the principles laid down by Rantideva, even today we can become pure devotees just by his association. Association Rantideva. Actually, we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Those days, thousands of years back, the people had the fortune of the personal association of Rantideva. Today, the same fortune we are having by reading and hearing about him. So, as it says here, Tat Prasanga Anubhavena, by his association, they became all Narayana Parayana. Similarly, today we are also able to get that same association by hearing his glories. From the absolute platform, both are same. There's no difference. Whether Rantideva is personally present, physically present or not, the result is the same. We are hearing about him, discussing about him, the effect is the same. If you continue the same process, we're sure to become pure devotees of the Lord. So that is the potency of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam or associating with the pure devotee through his Vani, through his glories, through his instructions. So it's a question of meeting such a great soul in our life and following him. Krishna Balaram Gaunita Gopal. If we are fortunate enough to meet such a kind of pure devotee, we are also sure to become pure devotee even today. Therefore, association is very, very important. Imagine following one person, entire kingdom became pure devotees, not just devotees, pure devotees. So that is the power of a pure devotee. That is why we know Srila Prabhupada used to quote his guru, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He always said, I consider my entire mission successful if I can make one pure devotee in the world. I'll consider my entire preaching effort successful. And make if I can turn one person into a pure devotee of Krishna, my entire preaching efforts are successful, he said. You can just imagine one person becomes pure devotee, how many devotees he can make. So that is the power of a potency of a pure devotee. Hmm. Ah. Like this, there are many examples in the history. It's not only Rantideva. Prahlad Maharaj, one single person. Hmm, all his friends he influenced, all the people of his time influenced. Narad Muni, even today is continuing to influence wherever he goes. He'll make devotees. Therefore, Narad Muni's close associate by name Parvata Muni, he said, "My dear Narada, you are actually Chintamani." He designated him as a Chintamani. Chintamani means it's a very precious stone, extremely precious. You take that stone and touch any metal, including iron, the lowest of metals, it will become gold. That's Chintamani stone. And as Lord Brahma says, Chintamani prakarasad masukalpa vriksha. Lord Brahma says the building block materials in Krishna's own planet is made of this Chintamani stone. You can just imagine. Hmm. How much wonderful must be Krishna's own planet, own abode. Chintamani stone. So, Parvatamuni said, Narada, you are indeed Chintamani. Meaning, wherever you go, whomever you meet, for sure, he'll become a devotee. For sure. There's also one more statement. Narada Muni's glance will never go in vain. So, if Narada Muni desires somebody become a pure devotee, finished. Even if he doesn't want to become, he'll become pure devotee. So, that is the potency of a pure devotee. Similarly, we see in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's a very nice description about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hmm, when he undertook a South India tour for 6 years, it is described what was the influence of Lord Chaitanya as he moved across different places in India. This is reading from Madhya Leela, chapter 7, text 9 to 91 to 118. If you want, you can go through more detail. Much more details are there. I'll just discuss to today's context only. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu undertook one South India tour for about 6 years. So when devotees got know that he has left them for a South India tour, just taking with him only one devotee, they were all very, very unhappy and practically they fell unconscious to the ground. That was the kind of love Lord Chaitanya showed to his devotees. That without his presence, devotees could not even continue to live. They became unconscious. And all through his journey, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would constantly chant Hare Krishna, sing Hare Krishna. And also, one mantra he always chanted Krishna, 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 He, Krishna, 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 He. Krishna 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 Raksha Mam Krishna 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 Pahi Mam Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Raksha Mam Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Pahi Mam. So this is the mantra Krishna Lord Chaitanya would constantly chant along with the Hare Krishna mantra all through his journey 24/7 day and night. What does this mantra mean? Prabhupada says, O Lord Krishna, please protect me and maintain me. Hmm? Pahimam, Rakshamam. Protect me, maintain. Then, O Lord Rama, descendant of King Raghu, Raghava, descendant of King Raghu, please protect me. O Krishna, O Keshava, killer of the Keshi demon, please maintain me. This is simple meaning. So, A shloka padi pathe chalila gaura hari, lok deki pathe kahe bala hari hari. So, whoever would see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he would request them to chant Hari Hari. And whoever he requested, there's no question of turning back that request. They automatically became influenced by Lord Chaitanya's request and they became devotees. And they would also chant Hari Hari. And they would become very eager to chant Hari's name. Instantly. Is an instant pure devotee. Whoever Lord Chaitanya met would become instant pure devotee. We have instant mix we have. Instant food. Instant pure devotee. There is no preaching. Come sit down for the Bhagavatam class. Is the training, the Ashraya program. Nothing. Instant pure devotee. Finished. Narada Muni also is like that. Instant pure devotee. Then all the people want to follow him wherever he went. Somehow they become so attached that they cannot think of living without Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. First time they're meeting, but they become attached, extremely attached. It's like, what is attachment? You become attached to a toy, you become attached to a car, you become attached to, a relative, family member. Sometimes we have homesickness. Sometimes students go to the hostel and stay. They get homesickness. 15 days leave they have to take. College has to permit. Otherwise, his sick is worsening. He has to see his mother. Immediately he'll become all right. No medication. And it's called homesickness. So attached. So like that, whoever saw Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, immediately they'll become extremely attached. Narayana Parayana. Instant. So the Lord would embrace them and he had to force them, request them, no, 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 it's okay, you please go home, do your regular duties. And he would invest them with his spiritual potency. Why? You will see that reason. Why did he invest them with his own potency? Each of these empowered persons. Say jana nija grame kariya ghamana. When these people were empowered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who became mad after Chaitanya, who became mad after Krishna, instantly became pure devotees. When they would return back to their village, Kariya Gamana, Nija Grame, when they go back to their own village, Krishna Bali Hase, Kande, Nache Anukshana. Always they would chant the name of Krishna, sometimes Hase, laughing, sometimes Kande, crying, sometimes Nache, dancing, Anukshana, every moment. No, it's not that wantingly they wanted to do this. Involuntarily, they don't know why they're doing, but they want to do. The tongue is not stopping, legs are not stopping, mind is not stopping from being absorbed in the thought of Krishna. Then, what phenomena took place? Yare deke tare kahe Krishna kaha Krishna nama mata Vaishnava kaila sabanija grama. Such an empowered person would request anyone and everyone, exactly like how Lord Chaitanya did. They would also request in their village everyone and anyone, whomever they saw, to chant Krishna's name. Yare deke, Tara kahe, kaha Krishna nama. Please chant Krishna's name. In this way, Mata, following this procedure, Vaishnava Kaila Sabha Nijagrama, entire wholesale conversion, wholesale village would become devotees. Exactly the way we saw here. Uh, Rantideva, all his officers, relatives, friends, family members, citizens, everybody, wholesale devotees. Not like going house to house, one by one, not a retail process, wholesale. That was their influence. Whoever they met, whole village would become devotees. In this way, the number of Vaishnavas increased unimaginably. Then what happened? Further, the phenomena didn't stop here, only to one village. Hmm. ಗ್ರಾಮಾಂತರ ಹೈತೆ ದೇಕಿತೆ ಆಯ್ಲ ಯತ ಜನ ತಾಂಡ್ರ ದರ್ಶನ ಕೃಪಾಯ ಹಯ ತಾಂಡ್ರ ಸಮ. The key word is Tandra Sama. What is that? People from different villages who came to see such devotees, they would also become like that devotee simply by seeing him. Tandra Darashana Kripaya. Finished. Just by looking at this devotee who has become attached to Krishna. So by looking at him. Finished. Tandra Darashana Kripaya Haya Tandra Sama. Tandra Sama. Like that he also became. He also became mad. Simply chanting, crying, dancing about Lord Krishna. Just by his merciful glance. By his merciful glance. Dekite ayala yatajana. Yatajana. Whichever person saw that devotee would also become devotee. Then further, say yai gramera loka vaishnava karaya anya grami asitandre deki vaishnava haya. When each of these newly empowered individuals returned to his own village, he also converted the villages into devotees. And further, when other devotees came from other villages and saw them, they also became devotees. Then other village people came and saw these devotees, they also became devotees. Other village came and saw these devotees, they also became. The whole world became filled with Narayana Parayana devotees. In this way, Lord Chaitanya's movement spread like wildfire. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became fully satisfied. So here, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, in this way, as empowered men went from village to another village, all the people of South India became devotees of Krishna. Anyway, so the story goes on. You can go through. Actually, we can see an exact replica of this happened once again during Srila Prabhupada's time. Srila Prabhupada, wherever he went, first he stepped in New York, in Boston, in New York. They all became devotees. He went to San Francisco. They all became devotees. Now Rath Yatra is going on. Prabhupada started the first Rath Yatra in San Francisco, 1967. 10,000 Americans followed him. The press report after Rath Yatra, probably in an innocent way, he asked, Swamiji, how is your following going on? He said, you can see at the back of me. He became speechless. 10,000 foreigners, Americans. Then he started that in New York, Rath Yatra. Then Buffalo. All places across the world, Srila Prabhupada introduced this Jagannath Rath Yatra, which is currently going on in Puri, Orissa. By the grace of Lord Jagannath, you can just imagine an empowered servant of Jagannath, one single servant of Jagannath, how much he can do. One single empowered servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how much he can do. So that is, he introduced Rath Yatra all over the world. Other than that, wherever he went, people became devotees. China, Japan, Germany, Africa, even in communist countries like Russia, Germany, even in Iran, even in countries where other religions are more prominent, apparently, Malaysia, Thailand, Australia, everywhere, America, Europe, wherever he went, people just followed Prabhupada. They just want to become attached to Prabhupada. They just become attached to Prabhupada. This is the influence of a pure devotee. Apparently, he is a Hindu, he is a sannyasi, he is a monk. Generally, we are away from monks and sannyasis and we don't want to attach. And especially foreigners, they don't like, Indians and this and that. But then, you can see Prabhupada, apparently an Indian, apparently, actually not an Indian anyway, is a devotee of the Lord. They became so attached to Prabhupada. And whatever he said, they cannot but just got to follow him. They became like that. So this is called In Prahlad Maharaj's language, Krishna Graha. Krishna Graha. Graha means a star. Krishna Graha means Krishna star. There is actually nothing like Krishna star in this world, by the by. Among the stars, there's nothing like, there's no such Krishna star as such. But in the expression used by Prahlad Maharaj, Shukadeva Goswami. Prahlad Maharaj was influenced by what is called as Krishna Graha, Krishna star. Meaning what? Sometimes we say some star is influencing you. Meaning, suppose you are under influence of a certain star, your behavior becomes very awkward, very strange. You behave very awkwardly, very strange way. That is a fact. We can see that when some particular star is influencing a person, his behavior changes. He's not a normal person, not his nature. We can sense that. Then we know that some star has influenced him. Then they go to astrologer and they do some parihar. They get that star away from him. It's a fact. So like that, Prahlad Maharaj was influenced by Krishna Graha. Seventh canto is very nice description by Shukadeva Goswami. Constantly he would cry, he would laugh, he would, dance. Apparently for no reason, because in front of him nobody is there. Like Shukadeva Goswami describes. Suddenly Prahlad Maharaj would start running. Actually nobody is there. But he's seeing Krishna. Others are not able to see because they're blinded by materialism. But Prahlad Maharaj is able to see his dearest friend, Krishna. So naturally when you see a dear friend, you will run towards him. Oh, Hari Bol. Like that. You will run delightfully. So Prahlad Maharaj would run towards Krishna. But people would wonder, why is this boy running? Little mad. Actually more mad. That's a fact. Then he would cry. Oh, wonder. He would be smiling and laughing. Suddenly he will start crying. You wonder what has happened to this boy? Because Krishna disappeared. So he would cry. Oh, I lost my friend. My friend went away. He would cry. So like that. Krishna comes, he would run, he would smile, and Krishna went away, he would cry. But people are not understanding what is happening. People are not understanding. You can see when Prabhupada also, right, a similar such experience. Markine Bhagavata Dharma, we should read that song. So Prabhupada said that today I got a very nice feeling about my friend. You know that song? It's a beautiful song. I got it, that feeling has, overcome me today. I want to roll in the sands of Vrindavana, like that Prabhupada writes. Markine Bhagavata Dharma. That song is a Vaishnava book, it is there. Please, you can go through that. Very nice. So we can see Prabhupada said, one pure devotee. All over the world, Prabhupada went. Everywhere he went, they became devotees of Krishna. This is the influence of a pure devotee. That is why Prabhupada said, Bhakti Siddhanta said, Ekas Chandra Nahi Tara Sahasrashaha. One moon in the sky, up in the sky, in the night time is more beneficial than thousands and thousands of stars. One moon is sufficient. Similarly, one devotee of Krishna, genuine, pure devotee of Krishna, is more than enough than millions of stars. One bhakti yogi is enough than millions of jnana yogis, karma yogis, ashtanga yogis. What can they do? Millions of stars, but what is the earth benefiting? One moon is giving a cool, spreading its cool nature, cool shine all over the earth and pacifying the people on the earth from the uh, uh, day's tiredness. It's so cooling and so soothing. One moonshine. One devotee can bring in so much relief. Just like moonshine brings relief at night time, you go peacefully to rest. Similarly, samsara dhava nalalidha loka tranaya karunya ghana ghanatvam praptasa kalyana gunarnavasya vande guru shri charanarvindam. Kalyana, one pure devotee can bring complete kalyana or all auspiciousness to your life. And interestingly, you can see Prabhupada has created a system. This is actually unimaginable. He has created a system of producing pure devotees in the form of establishing and instituting this Krishna consciousness movement called ISKCON. To make one pure devotee, Bhaktivedanta Maharaj said, my mission is complete, successful. And by the blessings of Bhakti Siddhanta, his foremost disciple Prabhupada has made a movement which can, for perpetuity, produce pure devotees. Whoever connects with ISKCON is sure to become pure devotee, provided they stick on. That's all. Only thing you have to stick on for perpetuity, for eternity, to become pure devotees. So it's like a factory, every factory produces some product, right? So it's called like a factory to produce, manufacture pure devotees. That the potency of this Lord Chaitanya's movement, named in the style of ISKCON, that much potency is there. So we are so fortunate. Uh, there are many, many such references all through the scriptures. Again in Chaitanya Charitamrita, uh, this was the reference when the Muslims, when they went to, because of a complaint from the Hindu Brahmanas only. Hindu Brahmanas, at that point of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was in the 15th century, 14th and 15th century, when Lord Chaitanya would spread the Sankirtana movement and make everybody chant and dance Krishna's name publicly in the streets, the Hindu Brahmins became alarmed. Oh my God, this Nimai Pandit, Lord Chaitanya's former name was Nimai Pandit. This Nimai Pandit is actually spreading the chanting of Krishna's name and influencing the entire society with this Krishna consciousness. And what will happen to all of us, Brahmins? So they were very alarmed. So they thought he's an upstart. And they went and complained to the Qazi, magistrate at that time, saying that he's an upstart. This mantra is not to be chanted publicly, the Hare Krishna mantra, not to be chanted publicly. It's very dangerous if people chant Hare Krishna mantra publicly on the streets. And my dear Qazi, take the warning. If you don't take action, there'll be disaster and calamity in the entire state of Bengal. If people chant more and more Hare Krishna, so like that or not, they, spoil the head of the magistrate. Then the magistrate obviously had to take action because it is from the Hindus only. He sent some of his men to stop the people from, practicing chanting, dancing on the streets and all these things. And so interestingly, when they went, they were discussing among themselves. This is Krishna Dasa. They would smile. Jokingly. Since this is Krishna Dasa, it seems, this is Rama Dasa. That they would laugh, they would make fun, jokingly like that, they would point out. See how they're chanting Krishna's name, this is Rama's name. Actually, their intention was to stop them from chanting. But the moment they said that, finished. Something happened. Some phenomena got stuck, happened. That time started, who said Krishna Dasa? This is Krishna Dasa, it seems like that, laughingly, jokingly. That time would constantly vibrate Krishna, 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 not stopping. Then whoever said this is Rama Dasa, like that, his tongue would constantly chant Rama, 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 Rama. One more fellow said this is Hari Dasa. Constantly his tongue would chant Hari, 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 Hari. No. They have to go back to the magistrate to report what they have done. What will they report? When they stay some more time, they become mad. So they return back to the court and then they reported. What report? They cannot even report anything. Only one thing comes from what is Krishna, 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 Hari, 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 Rama, 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 Rama. So what happened to you? When the minister questioned, that fellow also started chanting Rama's name. Hey, why are you chanting Krishna's name? This fellow started chanting Krishna, 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 Krishna. Then magistrate said, what is happening here? And he told another minister, hey, tell them what are they doing? What is this Rama Dasa doing? What is it? That fellow started saying Rama, 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 Rama. Got shocked and bewildered. So this is the power of chanting Krishna's name, Rama's name purely. So nice, so nice. So, because that was Lord Chaitanya's influence. And any sincere disciple of Lord Chaitanya, like Srila Prabhupada, if you sincerely follow in their footsteps, Anuvartinaha, Ranti Deva Anuvartinaha, Srila Prabhupada Anuvartinaha. If we follow, we'll also become empowered by the Acharya, by the Lord, to spread this Krishna consciousness movement. Then this force cannot be stopped by anybody. In this regard, one should necessarily read Adi Leela, 7th chapter, Lord Chaitanya and 5 features. There are some very, very special things in that chapter. You read that, finished. You will become attached, extremely attached to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So therefore, it is described, Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, 3 times. Sarva Shastra Kaya, every Shastra is declaring, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Haya. Lava is less than a second. Even less than a second, if you associate with a pure devotee, you will also become pure devotee. A noble laureate makes a noble laureate. There's a saying like that. Others cannot make a noble laureate. Noble laureate makes a noble laureate. A pure devotee makes a pure devotee. So this Krishna consciousness movement is empowered by Srila Prabhupada, by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to make pure devotees, to produce pure devotees. So if we sincerely follow in the footsteps of Prabhupada, then Prabhupada will use us to spread this Krishna consciousness movement and make everyone pure devotees of Krishna and make this world a Vaikuntha for people to live. I'll stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhupada.